stir-fried rice. First thing is, let's get that pan hot so it's ready for our chicken. I turn this on high. There. Now let's cut up our chicken. I'm using fresh chicken today, but you can use leftover chicken, that's just fine. This happened to be chicken breast on sale for $2 a pound. It's boneless and skinless. I watch the sales and I find that every so often, and when I do, I stock up and it goes in my freezer. I'm using 3 chicken breasts today because I'm making a big quantity of this to feed about 4 to 5 people. I'm going to wash my hands, and it's time to add the chicken breast into my hot skillet. I'm using the biggest skillet I have, and I'm putting in bacon grease. And the reason I'm putting in bacon grease is because it's my favorite oil to use. But feel free to go ahead and use corn oil or some other vegetable oil. So you just move that around a little bit, and in goes your chicken, and smooth your chicken out into the surface area of that pan. I'm using a stainless steel pan, and the object is to have the chicken brown. Initially, I try to make sure the chicken doesn't stick by swishing it around a little bit so that the oil is underneath it. Now I can let it brown. You can't play with your chicken too much because you don't want it to be white, you want it to be brown. It should take about 4 to 5 minutes for this step to be completed. While that's cooking, I'm going to prepare my vegetables. And I'm going to start with my densest ones first. That's going to go in that pan next. And that would be the carrot. I find if I do other things while one step's going on, it gets me to the finish line faster. Time to flip the chicken. I've got a beautiful brown color on that, so I'm going to turn the heat down to medium while I finish chopping some more vegetables. Now, I was reading my cookbooks as a little girl and studying how to make real Asian food because I love Chinese food so much. And ginger root is just one of those things that makes it taste authentically Chinese. So I go to the store and I just buy a little bit because it's pretty expensive. And I get the one that looks the biggest and fattest because I know I've got to take that edge off of it. So we need 1 tablespoon of grated fresh ginger. If you don't have fresh, go ahead and use the powdered form. But there's nothing like fresh. We also need some garlic. And I want about the same quantity of garlic. Crush that garlic first because it's easier to chop that way. Okay, so I have my little pile of garlic, my little pile of ginger, and my pile of carrots. These are going to be the first ingredients that go in my dish. That chicken is now done. I can take it out. And it's going to sit on the side and wait to re-enter our dish. I have turned my stove on low because I just wanted to get the chicken out. Didn't want to be fighting all that splattering grease. And turn that heat to medium. Now we're going to start with our garlic and our ginger. And we're going to toss that in our oil. And what this does is, it's going to bring that garlic and the ginger into the oil and infuse it. I'm also scraping up any little tidbits of that chicken because that adds extra flavor as well. Add our carrots. So while that's cooking on medium, I'm going to start chopping the next dense ingredient, and that's the celery. And as small little pieces as I possibly can. And I want about the same quantity as the carrot. In this case, it's about 3/4 cup. Join your friends. Give that a stir. And salt it, just about 1/4 teaspoon. I've washed these green onions. I'm just going to cut off the roots and chop them up too. I go all the way up those green stalks. So my trick on these onions is I put the white part in first so I don't get a bite off that onion. That's going to turn sweet in there, and I'm going to save the tops for the garnish on it. Stir that up. Oh, it's looking really good. Now I'm going to fire up that heat. A little hotter, bring it to high. Get the garnish ready. Here comes that cilantro, also known as Chinese parsley. Now these stems, I'm not going to waste. The stems are going to go in there because they're going to add flavor, and otherwise I would have thrown them away. And I always use the stems on cilantro because they cook. Just like the carrot will cook and get soft, and the celery will cook and get soft, those stems will cook and get soft too. Add anything you want to stir-fried rice. Sometimes I add frozen peas, frozen corn, any vegetables I have in the fridge. Okay, these are soft now. It's ready to add the rice. I'm going to take out the vegetables because I want that rice to have the texture of real Chinese fried rice. So by taking this out, I'm increasing the surface area of my pan to impact that really cold leftover rice. I'm going to fire up my pan again and add some more of the bacon fat, 1 big tablespoon. Since I have 3 breasts of chicken, I'm going to use 3 cups of white rice. White rice is really starchy and chunky when it's cold, so I just break that up in the pan in that hot grease on high. Since it's been left over for a day or two, I'm going to add some water in it now. By using that stainless steel pan and that water at the final step, you're making sure all those flavors travel with the rice up into the dish and don't just lay there in that pan to get washed out later. This technique is what those chefs use in their 5-star kitchens. Now it's time for our eggs. So crack your eggs in after that rice starts cooking. I do it in one little corner and just beat it up quickly. Those eggs are what really make this an authentic Chinese fried rice dish. Look how fluffy that is. That looks just great. Let's add our soy sauce. 1 tablespoonful. Ready to add our chicken and vegetables now. Now that's a wow. Okay, so the other half of that tablespoon of that soy sauce. It's ready. Oh my gosh, that looks so beautiful. And that is enough to feed a lot of people. I am happy with that. Now for the finishing touch, we're going to add our beautiful green onions that we chopped and our cilantro. Wow. Let's try this. I love it. That bacon grease really rocks in this recipe. And make it any old way you want. Subscribe to my channel and let's keep cooking.